Hey Merfolk fans, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me today. If you'd like to support my channel, please check the link above to my Patreon page. I'm here with round 3 of a modern competitive league. Sitting at 2-0 right now. I beat Teamer Energy with Aetherworks Marvel and 5-color humans. So doing pretty well so far. The opponent won the die roll for game 3. This, while appealing, is too sketchy to keep. We don't have anything like Spreading Seas or Silvergill Adept to cast if we even draw a blue source for turn 2. So yeah, this was a mulligan for me. The opponent kept their 7. And I decided to keep this. I mean, it's really strong against control hands. We have Mutavault as a creature and a land, Cavern of Souls getting us through counter magic, and with a scry, you know, we can get a creature on top of the deck, and that's a pretty good creature. So we'll keep that on top and see what we're playing against here. So Razor Verge Thicket, not a good thing to see here, and a Glade Cover Scout. So opponent kept 7, so this is Bogles, and it's not looking good for us. We're going to draw that Island Walk Lord. Now, I'm immediately thinking about scooping game 1, not revealing what I'm playing to the opponent, but Basic Island doesn't reveal anything, really. It could be any number of decks, from Blue Steel to Blue Red, Blue Moon, I guess. It could be, obviously, Blue-White Control. It could be Grixis Control, Esper Control. It could be any number of decks. So I can comfortably play out an Island here. I sort of juked by floating mana, thinking about whether I want to cast a Serum Visions or something, but then I'm like, no, I'm going to leave Spell Snare up. Okay, so the opponent, Ethereal Armor, starting to load the auras onto this guy. So Ethereal Armor into Rancor seems to happen way more often than it should, but it's a really, really potent combo of cards. Ethereal Armor gives it First Strike, and Trample is from Rancor, and they both buff the creature. So now it's a 5/3 Trample First Strike, which means that our blockers are virtually useless. So that combination of cards on top of our slow start on the draw and a mulligan means that scooping without giving the opponent information is definitely the way to go. Now, I know what the Bogles deck is all about. I don't have to sit around and wait. So I just scooped it up at that point. I have information about what I'm playing against. The opponent does not, which gives me a huge advantage in game 2. Even though this is still an unfavorable matchup even after sideboarding, at least I'm going to have a little bit of an edge. So look away for a second if you don't want to see the match result. I'm going to click out of this window now. All right, back for game 2. I'm going to be on the play. We're looking for some of our nice sideboard action. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and show you guys what I brought in. Now, I took out 3 Harbingers. The opponent's not going after our creatures, so very easy decision to take out the 2 Kiras. So the Harbingers don't interact with the opponent's hexproof creatures, but it can still bounce like a core Spirit Dancer with a whole bunch of auras on it, which can be effective. So I'd rather have the Singleton Harbinger in than the Singleton Kira. It's also just a Merfolk that gets buffed. Probably just going to be a blue Grizzly Bear, but that's what I did. I brought in 2 Echoing Truths, which can be great in the matchup, bouncing auras. It can be especially good against Daybreak Coronet because it requires another aura to be on. So imagine they just have like a Rancor and a Daybreak Coronet. I can bounce the Rancor to the opponent's hand, and then the Daybreak Coronet just dies because it's failing to fulfill the requirement of having another aura. So 2 Echoing Truths, and I think I brought in 3 Negates. So I've got post-board the 2 Spell Pierce in the main, 3 more Negates for 5 counterspells, and the 2 Echoing Truths. It's not a lot, but we have to hope that it's enough. This is a very basic Merfolk hand, and I had to think for a little while about whether I wanted to keep it or not. And in the end, on the play with the Silvergill, I decided to keep it. I don't know if it was the right call or not. The opponent kept as well. I'm going to open up with just Island and pass. Okay, so Verdant Catacombs and no Bogle, which is sort of awesome for us. So I'll just play out a second Island and Silvergill Adept. Possible I might have wanted to play out Cavern of Souls there to play around Choke. But The opponent cracks his Verdant Catacombs in response to Silvergill Adept and gets a Dryad Arbor. Now note that I did have my Singleton Harbinger of the Tides in my hand. And actually more important to note is that I revealed him thinking that he was going to be totally useless. But now the opponent has a non-hexproof creature on the table. And he's going to start putting auras on it, which is really ridiculous since the opponent knows that I have this Harbinger in hand. I think they just didn't even look at what card I revealed. This is terrible, terrible play. It's actually makes me a little bit sad to see that the opponent is so bad at Magic. Yeah, we're just going to bounce this thing. So now let's play another island. Bounce his land. So putting him back on a land drop and blowing up one of his auras. We can swing with the Silvergill Adept. Opponent has no creatures, just replays the Dryad Arbor and puts Spider Umbra on. We can play Mutavault and jam Master of Waves. It's going to give us 4 tokens, and we can swing with these 2 creatures. If the opponent wants to block, it's fine by me. Okay, didn't have another land drop, at least chose not to make it, and we got there in game 2, pretty easily actually. Seems the opponent didn't really know what Harbinger of the Tides did, and that was a massive blowout. So look away if you don't want to see the match result. I'm going to click out now. Okay, I'm back for the 3rd game. Now this guy's name is Dream Crusher 119, and going into this match, seeing that name and seeing that it was Bogles, was pretty scary. This is a keep. We want to hit one more land as quickly as possible. The opponent mulliganed, which made me feel slightly hopeful. But then they kept 6, putting a card on the bottom. Okay, Deja Vu. They play a fetch land with no Bogle. I don't hit a land, but I can just play island and pass. When cracks the Catacombs, getting a Dryad Arbor again. It looks like this guy didn't learn his lesson in that 2nd game. Horizon Canopy is going to take him down to 18, and he puts Spider Umbra on the Dryad Arbor. Now, not sure why he wouldn't get in there. I don't have any hasty creatures in my deck. He's not going to have to block with it. I think that was just a misclick by the opponent, or maybe, actually, you know what? He could be playing around Harbinger of the Tides, which would be pretty smart on his part. Let's play the Wanderwine Hub, and I did draw the land there, and it's very, very tempting to run out a Silvergill Adept to keep drawing cards. However, once the opponent has a creature with an aura on it, we need to defend against Daybreak Coronet if we have a way to defend against it. And we do. We have Spell Pierce, which means that I can comfortably just pass the turn here. One cracks a Windswept Heath, going down to 17, taps 2 lands, take him down to 16, and here's the Daybreak Coronet. Yep, I mean, it's a pretty easy deck to predict its plays, and we're just going to pierce this Coronet. At this point, I think the opponent is going to get in with the Dryad Arbor. Good for him. Being brave. And I think it's time for me to go for Reejerey here, unlocking a lot of potential crazy stuff next turn with all these 2-drops in hand. We even have our 4th land drop handy. Okay, there's a Spirit Mantle. One plays another Horizon Canopy, dealing quite a lot of damage to himself with these lands. And he played Griff's Boon. This might be sideboard tech, I think. It gives flying, which helps him get around all of my ground creatures. So +1/+0 and flying, and he can pay 4 to return it to the battlefield attached to one of his creatures. So double evasion having played the Spirit Mantle. Now, this guy's a 4/3. Protection from creatures is cool because it doesn't even let me bounce it with Harbinger anymore. The opponent is going to get in. The guy doesn't have Vigilance, so he has to tap. I'm down to 14. Now, we're not going to have a lethal attack this turn, but we definitely will next turn if we go bananas right now with all these lords. Playing out Mutavault is going to be correct because it helps us cast Silvergill Adept, and then we can just use their islands to play out 2-drops after that. And Mutavault gets us another body, just ensuring that we'll have a lethal attack next turn. So let's just untap lands, see what we draw off Silvergill. Drew a Cursecatcher, that's nice. It's a free body with Reejerey. And then we'll just play 2 lords. And in the end, I just untap the land for no reason. Can Can swing with Reejerey for 4, bringing the opponent down to 10. And even a Coronet probably wouldn't save him at this point. What is it? Coronet does like +3/+3 first strike vigilance. So actually, that would be pretty good, actually. The fact that he has protection from creatures means that he has protection from Reejerey also. So if he had a Daybreak Coronet, I wouldn't be able to tap him by casting this Lord. So if you play the Daybreak Coronet and attacked, be 7 power. It'd go up to 17. And the 7 power with Vigilance could just eat one of my Lords. It would actually get pretty dirty for us if he had another Daybreak Coronet. But instead, he cracks a Horizon Canopy, which puts him just on 1 land. So start to breathe a little bit easier. And the opponent scooped. So beating Bogles is always a great feeling for Merfolk. It's one of our worst matchups. This opponent in particular seemed like he was keeping really weird hands where his only creature was a Dryad Arbor. Got massively blown out by Harbinger of the Tides in Game 2. And Reejerey did a lot of work in Game 3. So thanks for watching, guys. Please let me know your thoughts. Leave any questions you might have in the comment section below. Check out my Patreon page if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And tune in for the next video where I'll be back with round 4 of this competitive Modern League. Currently sitting at 3-0. Really good start. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks a lot. Bye.